A sigh of relief for Texas Tech football fans as Behren Morton will reportedly play against Kent State and start, according to Pete Thamel of ESPN. Today we'll discuss the report, why it's so critical for Behren Morton to play against Kent State, and much, much more. Let's get it. Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome into the Red and Black Report. I am your host, RC Maxfield, and sigh of relief. Just a sigh of relief. And I know there's some people saying out there, oh, if he's not 100%, don't play him. Here's the thing. He's going to play. And I think Texas Tech is kind of in a similar boat as you all, in the sense of if there was even an iota of a chance that Behren Morton could re-aggravate this injury by playing, they wouldn't play him. But he's good to go. That, according to Pete Thamel, we'll discuss his reporting as well as what head coach Joey Maguire said on his weekly radio appearance out in the 806. But let's just jump right into the Pete Thamel report. This was over on Twitter early this morning, September 5th. Only about 26 hours till game time. Source, Texas Tech will start quarterback Behren Morton against Kent State this weekend. He'd been listed as questionable with a leg injury that forced him to leave the opener against Arkansas Pine Bluff in the second quarter. Now, I know a lot of people are probably thinking to themselves, well, you don't really need Behren Morton to beat Kent State. And you're right. There's no debating that. That being said, I think that there is critical aspects to Behren Morton playing in a game like this to get Texas Tech to where they want to go. Most notably is this. Texas Tech has a lot of new players, okay? You think about the skill position players that maybe are returning for Texas Tech, but also just haven't really played the certain roles that they're in, let alone guys that are new additions from the transfer portal. Most notably, Reggie Virgil, Terrence Carter Jr., right? Then you have the running backs that are uplifted into a spot that they've really never been at the collegiate level in Jacoby Williams and Cam Dickey with the injury to Quentin Joyner. Not to mention also the offensive line. Your left side of the offensive line, brand new. You're starting a guy at right tackle that has 2 collegiate starts, okay? The thing is this, Behren Morton needs reps with these guys in live game situations. That's just point blank, period. But I think even more importantly than that, Behren Morton needs live in-game reps, really calling out the plays and making sure he understands the playbook for new offensive coordinator Mac Leftwich, because it is difficult learning a new offense, right? And there's some similarities, I'm sure, that Behren Morton has taken from a Zach Kittley offense to the Mac Leftwich scheme. There's probably inevitably at least 1 or 2, right? But actually going out and calling those plays in live game situations in a Mac Leftwich offense is something that Behren Morton has really only done for what? 18 minutes? Of game action. You need him to go out there and be impactful and gain that confidence, allow that rhythm to develop, not only for Behren Morton, but for this offense, because simple and plain, you're playing Arkansas Pine Bluff, Kent State, and Oregon State. No disrespect to the Beavers. They're not in the class that Arkansas Pine Bluff and Kent State are in terms of suck. That was harsh, but it's true, okay? You still need to go out there and get ready for the Big 12, and live in-game reps with the schedule you currently have is the best way to do so, to make sure Behren Morton is prepared for what's about to happen for Texas Tech when they open up Big 12 play out in Salt Lake City here in 2 weeks. So to have number 2 out there and confirm that he is starting, according to Pete Thamel of ESPN, one more time, put that on your screen right there. Texas Tech will start quarterback Behren Morton against Kent State. It's not about the fact that Texas Tech would need him to beat Kent State, because they wouldn't. You could probably start Mitch Griffs and still win by 3 scores if you're the Red Raiders. I truly believe that. Texas Tech is 47.5-point favorites here, people. I mean, you don't need Behren Morton, okay? But you do need Behren Morton to be ready when you need him most. And when you need him most is that first week of Big 12 play, and you have to have him ready with live in-game reps with these new pieces in the Mac Leftwich offense. It's pivotal for the Red Raiders' success to be sure that happens. All right. Before we get into Joey Maguire's comments on his local radio show, I'd be remiss not to mention today's sponsor of the video. That is Home Field Apparel homefieldapparel.com. Head on over to homefieldapparel.com to get your new favorite Texas Tech vintage t-shirt, sweatshirt, socks, hat, everything you want Texas Tech to get you ready for not only football season, it's here, as we're talking about it, obviously, but basketball season, baseball season, whatever it is, they've got you covered over at homefieldapparel.com, and you can save 15% off your entire first purchase, or really any purchase. Go there multiple times. Christmas is right around the corner. I know some people plan early, and Homefield Apparel has you covered for everything Texas Tech apparel. Use the promo code RBR15 to save 15% off your entire purchase. All right. Joey Maguire was on his local radio show on Thursday night out in the 806, and he actually said he would be surprised if Behren Morton did not play against Kent State. We obviously know the Pete Thamel sources telling him that he will play, that being Behren Morton, but it sounded like last night this was a formality almost in a way that head coach Joey Maguire, you typically don't hear head coaches come out and basically say about an injured player like, yeah, I'd be surprised if he didn't play, right? Typically, they try and, level set and go in and be like, okay, yeah, we'll see what happens and how he feels going into, Saturday. He did say some things in terms of, yeah, we'll see how he feels on Friday morning and then probably release it late Friday night. But they didn't even wait that long because somebody close to Pete Thamel in the Texas Tech football department obviously said something here. And again, Pete Thamel reporting that a source has told him that Behren Morton will play against Kent State. Another aspect of this that I think is pivotal for Behren Morton to play is the simple fact of this. I think this is a confidence boost for Behren Morton. You have to think about this from a psychology perspective for Behren Morton. How demoralizing would it have been for him, a guy that just got his shoulder back to where it hasn't been since he was a redshirt freshman, and then the first game of the year where he has never felt better, his words, not mine. Okay, he has never felt better as a collegiate athlete than he did going into that first game against Arkansas Pine Bluff. And then not even a half into the football game, you sustain an injury that makes you miss the next one. How demoralizing would that have been from a psychological standpoint for Behren Morton? I think it's not really, it can't go unnoticed, the fact that he is playing in this game and he is able to play at probably a high level in the sense of Texas Tech is not playing him if he is not close to 100%. Period. End of story. But I do think there is a psychological aspect of this in a positive direction for the Red Raiders from the simple fact of what Behren Morton has gone through in the injury department during his time at Texas Tech. I get it. It's not the shoulder, but it was an injury regardless. And now, according to Pete Thamel, as we get it back on your screen one more time, Behren Morton will start against Kent State. Again, you don't technically need him, but from a psychology, rhythm, and just sheer game rep perspective, this is important for Texas Tech. And as Pete mentioned there, he had been listed as questionable with a leg injury that forced him to lead the opener against Arkansas Pine Bluff in the second quarter. You saw Will Hammond get your speed up on College Football 26, young man. But Behren Morton will start against the Kent State Golden Flashes on TNT at 11 a.m. Get your coffee ready, Red Raider Nation, as the Red Raiders will face off against the team in the Golden Flashes that have won one of their last 22 games, and that win coming last week against the Merrick Warriors. I don't know. I know their mascot, but they won last week, and congrats to Kent State on that. But in this game, the Red Raiders are 47.5-point favorites, and they will have QB1 at the helm, Behren Morton, playing this one. All right. That's going to do it for today's video. Appreciate y'all tuning in to this kind of breaking news video of sorts, but also just reporting what happened in terms of ESPN. Good job by Pete Thamel releasing that. And you could almost hear the sigh of relief from everyone that is a part of Red Raider Nation when this tweet came out and they recognized it from Pete Thamel. But again, the big news for Texas Tech football, they will have QB1 against the Kent State Golden Flashes at an 11 a.m. kickoff at the Jones tomorrow morning leading into the afternoon. All right, I'm RC Maxfield reminding you, if you want 100% free Texas Tech football, men's basketball content, whether it's on the gridiron, hardwood, portal, high school recruiting, or just breaking news in general, we've got you covered right here on the largest group of Texas Tech fans on YouTube, over 12,500 strong. I think we can get to 13K before basketball starts. I really do. That's my challenge to y'all. Let your friends know in Red Raider Nation. And again, it's 100% free. not costing you anything at all. So if you want to join the largest group of Texas Tech fans, be sure to like the video and hit that subscribe button right here on the Red and Black Report. All right, we'll catch you next time. But as always, stay safe and Recom Tech.